Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm so excited to have you here, and today we're going to be going over how to get into real estate sales. By the end of this video, if you've been thinking, oh man, I want to get into real estate sales, I want to start working in the real estate industry, you're going to know exactly how to do it. Stay tuned. Today, you're going to learn on this video exactly how to get into real estate sales. And a question that I had when I first started that you guys are going to be surprised about is, what's the best way to get into it? Also, we're going to talk about, is there such thing as real estate sales? What does that even mean? Also, what can you make in real estate sales? What's the cap? What's the amount of money? Is there a cap to it? Is there like a minimum of what you can end up making? Also, we're going to be talking about, what do you do in real estate sales? What are the actions? What do you do? Also, how do you get started? Is there such thing as real estate sales? And you bet your bottom dollar there is. There's so many different ways to get into real estate sales. It does exist. Now, again, you have to determine how you want to get into real estate sales. I got into real estate sales. I got into wholesaling because I came from a door-to-door background. I was tired of knocking doors, moving from area to area. I wanted to do a job that I could stay in one location, especially after I got married. My wife didn't want to be jumping, because if you don't know the door-to-door industry, you basically go every summer to a new location, or you leave your area, you take a team with you, and you go knock doors for 3 or 4 or 5 months. Knocking doors, by the way, is great money. It was fun, but I just didn't want to be so transient in my lifestyle, so I wanted to pick a way I could get into real estate sales. So I was faced with a couple questions. I was like, well, what do I do? What jobs are there in real estate sales? Well, let's go over some. You can be a real estate agent, okay? And then you got to look at, as a real estate agent, what would I be doing? Well, what you would be doing is you'd be networking with people, you'd be listing houses, you'd be walking people through. Do you want to do that? Is that the kind of real estate sales you want to do, where you can list a property and show a bunch of people and people call you and get upset if you don't show them the right house? Is that what you want? That wasn't for me. What's the next thing? Do you want to work for a company? Do you want to work for a company doing inside sales, whatever, outbound, where you're responding to leads or you're prospecting? That's another way to do it, whether you're a real estate agent or you work for a real estate investor. The path that I chose in real estate sales was a wholesaler. I wanted to be able to find discounted properties and assign them to end buyers for a fee, and I believed I could do this, and not believed, I did. And I do this by myself. I didn't think I needed to go work for anybody, but those were kind of the options I was faced with. And there might be way more different ways to get into sales, real estate sales, because you have commercial, you have a bunch of development, there's a bunch of different things you can do. But for me, I thought and I believe that wholesaling was the best way to get started in the industry for real estate sales. So what can you make in real estate sales? Well, it really depends how hard you work and how much you can get done. The great thing about being a sales rep in any industry, especially in real estate sales, is it's pretty much uncapped. You can make as much money as you're able to produce. And that's why I like sales so much, is because it depends on you. There's not like a salary. It depends who you work for. A lot of people, if you do sales, it's a commission-based job, but some people do salary, maybe a little bit commission. It depends who you work for. But for me, I saw the benefit in getting to real estate because there's no cap, and I was going to work for myself, and I do work for myself, so I believe the sky was the limit, and I could do as much as I wanted. So how much can you make? It really depends on you, but as a real estate agent, you make about 3% of listing a property. As a wholesaler, you make as much as you're able to assign the deal for, and that's pretty much it. You are in charge of what you can make, and that's what's so exciting about real estate sales. So what do you do as a real estate sales guy or a girl? Well, it's pretty simple. You make offers, you try to find deals, and you negotiate. So let's dive a little bit deeper into what that means. What do you mean by offers? Well, if someone has a house they want to sell, well, if you want to buy their house, you got to make them an offer. That's one of the things you do as a real estate salesperson, is you make offers to people that have properties for sale, and that's kind of pretty much the essence of any sales job. If you're trying to buy something, you're making an offer. If you're trying to sell something, you have a product, right? So that's one of the ways that you can make money, is go out, make offers, and that's one of the things you need to do. Before you even get into the offer stage as a real estate salesperson, you got to be able to have a process that you take a seller through, take them through roadmap of, talking to them about their property, talking to them about the condition, talking about why they're selling, their timeline, any deal killers. There's a lot of things to talk about with a seller before you even get to the offer part. If you're a noob, if you're brand new to this, and you just go in and you start talking to people, you make them an offer immediately, that's not the right way to do it. You need to take sellers through a process, and that's what being in real estate sales you need to do is you need to understand your sales process. And a part of the process is negotiating. Now, you don't just call someone and just start negotiating. Say, hey, I see your house is for sale for $300,000. I'll do $240. Does that work for you? And you just go right. That's the wrong approach. You have to take, again, people through a sales process where you ask them why they're selling, figure out what options they've explored, talk to them about the property itself. I could go through the whole sales process with you right now, but all I'm trying to say is negotiating is a big part of that, and that's what, as a salesperson, you need to do. Before we go to the next point, I want to invite you to take advantage of the painless wholesaling mind map that I have here in the description that you can click on. Guys, I built this thing so you can know exactly how to succeed in the real estate sales process. I have my whole sales process, a contract, a way for you to know exactly what to offer, how to offer it, what to say, how to talk to sellers. It's all in the mind map. I built this for my own company so we would know our processes and systems, and I'm giving it to you for free. So take advantage of this right now. So it depends who you talk to, but if you want to know what's the best way to get started in real estate sales, I would recommend wholesaling. That's how I got my start. Now, the reason why so many people get started in wholesaling is because you don't need any capital. You need literally $0 to get into the business. All you have to do is find a motivated seller. For example, they want to sell their house to you. You say, I'll buy your house for $100,000 cash. And then what you do during your due diligence period is you find a buyer to assign your contract to, your rights to buy the property for a fee, whether that's $1 or it's $1,000 or it's $20,000 or $100,000. My biggest wholesale fee that I've ever had, I think it was $85,000 assignment fee, and then I've had way bigger ones that from flips. But all I did is I found a seller who wanted to sell. Didn't cost, well, this one did cost me because I was marketing, but if you find one through free marketing means and you assign it to someone else, you can make that fee. That's why I believe that wholesaling is the greatest way to start for new investors, because it doesn't require any money. Now, if you go into flipping and you're brand new and you buy a property, you might be buying it at the wrong price. You might not understand your overhead costs and how much it's going to cost to flip this thing. And then when you sell it, you realize, oh man, I thought I was going to make 40K. I actually lost 40K because the kitchen, I had to update the whole kitchen and I didn't take that account, or there was a foundation issue. The cool thing about wholesaling, again, is low risk, high reward. And the biggest risk of wholesaling is marketing and trying to find the deals, potentially having to spend money to get motivated sellers. So you're probably wondering, can you be successful in wholesaling, real estate investing, real estate sales, full-time or part-time? It really depends on how you can use your time. I right now do my business part-time. I have virtual assistants that help me. They bring me deals. I find buyers. I actually find sellers too, and I can do deals at half the time that I used to, just from knowledge and experience. But if you're brand new, I would suggest doing it full-time if you have the opportunity, but if you have a job and you can only do it part-time, you can totally be successful with that. You just have to use your time wisely. And the problem is, like, a lot of people that don't see success, they complain, and it's mainly because they're not taking enough action. If you want to be successful in real estate sales, you got to be consistent, you got to take action, you got to follow up with people. That's what it takes to be successful. So when we're talking about real estate sales and how to be successful, it really comes down to, do you want to spend money or not? Now, wholesaling, if you have a wholesaling business, you have to spend money just to keep the lead flow going. So you do have to spend money, but really as a flipper, you have to get a hard money loan, or you have to use your own cash. You got to get, rehab. You got to pay for the utilities. There's a lot of expenses that come with it. So I do both. I fix and flip and I do wholesaling, but I started with wholesaling because I didn't know how to flip. I didn't want to get into it yet, but through experience, you basically just convert and you can do both, and you upgrade and you level up. And that's why I think wholesaling, again, is such a good way to get in real estate sales. Is you learn the process, you learn slowly, little by little, or you network with people who can help you level up, and then you get into flipping. And then once you get into flipping and wholesaling, then you can keep stuff, and you keep stuff as rentals, Airbnbs. So it's a really good way to get into the real estate industry so you can learn. But that is what I believe would be the best way for you to get started in real estate sales. So if you've enjoyed this video on how to get into real estate sales, make sure to watch this next video, because if you're going to get into real estate sales, you're going to want to know how to fill out a real estate contract. And that's what we're going to be talking about in this next video, so check it out.